Well, it's time now for business with France 24's Yuka Roya. Yuka, hello.
Hi,
France is entering its third national lockdown with the closure of non-essential businesses extended to all parts of the country.
Yeah, lots of them say that it hurts to hear that their business is non-essential, but still about 60,000 shops around the country will have to close their doors once again. And a ban on selling takeaway alcohol is hurting restaurants and cafes. Businesses and working parents alike are struggling to adjust their schedules to the closure of schools starting next week, and some holiday destinations are facing mass cancellations as the 2-week school holiday has also been moved. With around 150,000 businesses temporarily shut down, the lockdown is set to cost the French economy 11 billion euros each month. The government may have to downgrade its growth target for this year from the current 6%. Now, it's not just the fresh lockdown people are unhappy about. Thousands of French farmers took their tractors out on the roads this Friday to protest at planned reforms to the European Union's Common Agricultural Policy. It accounts for about a third of the EU budget, with more than 50 billion euros in farming subsidies. But a proposal to prioritise environmentally friendly initiative is proving controversial. Catherine Bennett reports.
Operation Snail. That's what the French call this kind of demonstration, where protesters block roads and snarl up traffic. That's exactly what thousands of farmers did early on Friday morning in France. They're protesting against proposed European agricultural reforms that could force them to implement more eco-friendly farming practices, which they think will put them at a disadvantage against cheaper imported produce.
Moins on produira en France, plus on importera de produits, mais les produits qui entrent d'Espagne, du Portugal, de partout, ne respectent pas le quart de la moitié des exigences qu'on a nous. Donc en fait, c'est surréaliste. Donc on veut faire progresser l'agriculture française, très bien, mais il faut aussi finalement conserver une agriculture pour toutes les bourses.
European Union member states are currently negotiating the next Common Agricultural Policy, or CAP, which will start in 2023. The EU is keen to meet ambitious climate objectives, and so part of farmers' subsidies will now become eco-schemes, additional funding that can only be unlocked if farmers switch to more environmentally friendly practices, such as organic farming, crop rotation, and not using pesticides. France is the largest agricultural producer in the European Union and the biggest beneficiary of EU subsidies. Many French farmers are dependent on EU aid.
La future réforme qui est mise en place projette de me retirer presque un tiers de mes aides européennes, donc c'est-à-dire environ 20 000 euros de moins comme soutien pour le développement de mon exploitation, et ça représente une majeure partie de mon revenu.
Farmers worry that even if they do switch to greener practices, the money they make won't be sufficient to cover costs, penalising them twice over.
Air Canada has cancelled its planned takeover of tour operator Transat over EU regulatory hurdles. The airline company agreed to buy Transat after the travel agency, which also operates an airline, ran into financial difficulty because of the pandemic. The combined group would have had a 60% share in Canada's travel market. Canadian regulators approved the deal in February, but it also needed a green light from the European Commission, which seemed increasingly unlikely, according to Air Canada. The United States economy created the most jobs in 7 months in March, a sign that a sustained economic recovery may be taking hold thanks to the government's vaccination drive and massive stimulus package. 960,000 new jobs were added to the US labour market in March, almost double the gain seen in February. But there are still nearly 8.5 million fewer payroll jobs in the country than there were before the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The jobless rate, meanwhile, dropped from 6.2% to 6%. And finally from me, the company behind K-pop sensation BTS is buying a US company run by the music manager of Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande. Big Hit Entertainment, which has changed its name to HYBE, is planning to make the purchase of Ithaca Holdings through its US subsidiary for about $1 billion. It would mark the South Korean company's first foray into the American entertainment industry. Ithaca's chief executive, music magnate Scooter Braun says that the tie-up will create exponential opportunities for its artists.
Okay, Yuka, sounds great. Thank you very much for that. Yuka Roya with the business there tonight.